Veterans, do you know what questions to ask and what questions not to ask when you call the VA's National Call Center when you have questions about your VA compensation claims? In today's video, I'm going to explain what questions you should be asking and what questions you shouldn't. Make sure you stick around. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video, what questions to ask and what questions not to ask when you call the VA's National Call Center when you have questions about your VA compensation claim. But before I get into today's video, make sure you click the link in the description section and get signed up for my free webinar. Now, this free webinar is for me to explain to you exactly what I do and what I don't do. That's all I am covering in this webinar, but most importantly, also how you can work with me. Okay. So, questions to ask when you call the VA's National Call Center. Question number one: what is the current status of my disability compensation or pension claim? Now, that's pretty broad, okay? And they're going to give you a really basic general answer. But another way you can rephrase this question is, has my claim been assigned to a regional office? And if so, has it been marked RFD, ready for decision? And has it been assigned to a VA rater? Okay. So there's three questions into one. Where is my claim at? Louisville, Kentucky, Los Angeles, California, Waco, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. I hope it's not Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. St. Petersburg, Florida, Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan. Where is that case at? Okay. Is it RFD? In VBMS, the system they use to do all the development, the raters that do all the rating decisions in VBMS, it'll state if it's RFD. Now, it can be RFD and not assigned to a regional office or a VA rater. But here's the nugget. If it is assigned, if it is marked RFD and is assigned to a regional office and a rater, it's days away from being rated if everything is complete. Okay. Back when I rated, VBMS came on board. I think they gave us 7 days. They will, coaches, supervisors would put different claims in our queue in VBMS R. And we had X amount of days to rate those cases. And it was 7. Then they dropped it down to 5. Then they dropped it down to 3. And a lot of people found themselves rushing because they was trying to rate those cases. It might be 10 cases in there. You're trying to get through them really quick. Okay. So they'll let you know, okay, it's ready for the decision. It's good to go. It's been assigned to a rater. So if everything is complete, no more development is needed, no exams are needed, no nothing, then that case can be rated. But sometimes the rater will see something and say, oh, we need this. And then it'll go back to a lower step. Okay. Question number 2. How can I update my direct deposit information or mailing address? Okay. So yes, you can call into the National Call Center and get your direct deposit updated. I know back when they had e-benefits, you can go right in e-benefits, which is no longer, you got to go to va.gov and do it. But it could be easier for some veterans just to call in. Now, if you do that, I would recommend you call back the next day to confirm they did not fat finger a number. Because if they did, that'll hold up their direct deposit. Then it has to go to finance. Finance is really small. They have to do their investigation, and you may not get that money for that particular month or months up to a year. I've seen that. Okay. So, second, when you want to update your address, okay, you can call in and update your address. Okay. It's not that hard to do. Okay. But again, I would call back the next day to make sure they got it right. Or before you hang up, hey, can you repeat it to me so you know they got the correct address? Now, here's a nugget. If you go to VHA, Veterans Healthcare Administration, and they say, and they verify your information when you check in at appointment, hey, is your address the same? No, oh, it changed, and you change it. It doesn't automatically change under VBA, two separate divisions, okay? So if you update it on one or the other, you're going to have to go back and update it with the opposite division. If you go to VBA, call it 800 number on the VBA, change your address, you have to call VHA or go to your VA medical center and update it with them. Those systems do not talk to each other, okay? Let's keep going. Question number 3. Can you send me a disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes? Okay. So, what this does, when you get this letter, what this does, it gives you certain information. Okay. It's going to give you everything that you're service connected for. It's going to give you the percentage that you are service connected for that particular condition. Okay. And it's going to give you the diagnostic codes. Okay. And that's key. That's the nugget right there, because once you have that 4-digit number, you know, okay, well, I want to do an increase. You can go out to the VA's website, the VA rating scheduler. You can see my old one sitting right there behind me over there, and see what the next criteria is for the next higher percentage. Also, you can find this information in the rating decision, meaning not the diagnostic code, but the next criteria for the next higher percentage. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Question number 4. How do I add or remove dependents from my VA benefits? You can call that number and they can let you know exactly what you need to do. Okay. Sometimes people ask me, I tell them call the call center, because I don't keep up with any guidelines as it pertains to dependents. So if the VA changes their guidelines and they put it in the M21-1, I don't really keep up with that. So you want to call and get that information straight from the horse's mouth. Okay. Question number 5. Can you confirm in VBMS that my application for benefits have been received? Okay. Yes, they can confirm that. All right. Now, why do you want to confirm that? Some veterans, they work with VSOs, veteran service organizations / officers, claims agents, or attorneys. I've heard veterans say, hey, I was working with my VSO and they never filed my claim. And it's been over a year. And then when I filed a claim, I end up getting service connected, but they didn't go all the way back when my VSO was supposed to file their claim. Guess what? The responsibility is on you, not your VSO. So if your VSO says, yes, I submitted that paperwork, 800-827-1000, confirm that it is there. Also, here's a nugget. Ask them, does it show the signature page? Because I've seen veterans submit a prescribed claim form, like a VA form 21-526EZ, have all the pages except the signature page. That makes that an incomplete claim. Okay. So again, you need to know what questions to ask and what answers that you can expect. All right. Question number 6. Can you confirm if there is an intent to file on record and what is the dates? Okay. You want to know this. All right. You don't want to wait until you get service connected and the effective date is wrong. And you say, well, I did my intent to file. I don't know what happened. Well, did you receive a correspondence in the mail? No, I didn't receive anything. So even if you call in, whenever you do an intent to file, however you do it, you should get something in the mail. If you don't get anything in the mail with 2, 3, 4 weeks, you need to call, especially within the month that you did that intent to file. So for example, let's say you 1st of June, you did the intent to file. Okay. You want to be calling maybe on the 20th. Hey, is it of record? or if you mailed it in or faxed it in or whatever, or you went on their website, started a claim, but you didn't hit submit, you want to call and verify that intent to file is there. If they don't see it, guess what? At that particular time, you let them know, hey, I want to do an intent to file for compensation right now. So if you get service connected, you're not going to get June 1st. You may get June 22nd, but guess what? The back pay is the same. Okay. So if you get service connected or the effective date is June 3rd, 30th, opposed to June 1st, the amount is still the same. They're going to pay you for the entire amount. And I'm sorry, for the entire month. Is they don't prorate it. Okay. Now let's get into some questions not to ask because they're not going to know. Okay. So why even ask them? All right. Number one, what is the specific schedule for my upcoming medical appointments? You call VBA, Veterans Benefit Administration. You didn't call a VA medical center. They are not going to know that. Okay. You have to call the VHA side. All right. Number two, why is the VBA judge, Veterans Benefit Administration Board of Veterans Appeals judge, taking so long with the remand? The call center has nothing to do with the judge's schedule or ruling. Now, what you can ask, say, hey, I went before BVA, Boards of Veterans Appeals. Are there any notes or any correspondences for the judge? Now, they may tell you yes. They may not sit there and read all of them. They're going to tell you you got to submit a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act, to get that information. But try this, and it may work. Check the notes section. Is there anything in the notes about my BVA claim? All right. If it is, hopefully they give you that information. All right. Question number three. Why is the VA rater taking so long? They don't know that VA rater. More than likely, they don't know. It's a small chance, okay? And they can't tell you because they don't rate. They would have to literally sit there and look through all that evidence to see what's going on, and still it may not be the correct answer. All right. Question number four. Can you tell me when my VA claim will be completed? They don't know. Even if the claim has been assigned to a regional office, if it's been assigned to a rater and it's RFD, they can't tell you when that rater is even going to look at that case. Because guess what? Like I stated earlier, the rater could look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, we still need this particular development. Okay. And then you're going to say, well, wait a minute, I went from step 7 and they kicked me all the way back to step 3. They lied to me. Okay. They don't rate. So they're not able to tell you when that claim is going to be completed. They may say something like, oh, claims are worked in the order they're received. All right. Last question, question number 5. What conditions should I claim? These VA reps are not supposed to tell you what to claim. Okay. So don't expect a specific answer from them. Now, you may have a small percentage that may say, well, you can claim everything that you were seeing in service for, or you have a diagnosis for in service or something like that. I seriously doubt if they go any further than that. All right. So now I gave you some questions that you could ask, get some answers, and some questions not to ask because these reps at the 800 number, they just don't know. Okay. But keep in mind, this is your claim. You have the ultimate responsibility for it. So just know what to ask and what not to ask. With that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veteran. Thank you.